Hello and welcome to the March 2014 online edition of Kula Yoga Shala's teacher feature. This month we hanging out in the Buddha Bar with Chrissy Vorpagel, and Chrissy teaches two classes here at Kula. First one is kids yoga for the little guys, 4 to 8 year olds, on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. and that's 45 minutes. And then she teaches a class outside on the deck on Sundays at noon. It's a yin-yang fusion practice. So what's up, Chrissy? Thanks so much for doing this. And Chrissy's also one of the newest teachers at Kula, right? But it doesn't seem that way because it feels like you've been here forever. So
I've been here for 3 years.
Right, pretty much since we opened practicing and everything.
Yes.
So was that your start to practicing yoga, was here too, or were you practicing prior to Kula?
Kula was my very first experience with yoga.
That's cool.
Mary Theo was my very first teacher.
Awesome. And maybe we could start there, giving people a sense of just your background with the yoga practice.
My very first class was a yoga basics class with Mary. And I think I was more scared than I am right now for this interview. Because I had no idea what yoga was. And my really good friend and also a teacher, Chris, he brought me. And I was hooked.
So what about it hooked you?
I guess it's kind of exactly the whole reason I became a teacher is to be able to share what I got from yoga with children, which is you can have that one thing in your life that is something you'll never have to perform, be judged for. You'll never have to compete. It's just for you. Yoga is yours. It's your yoga, no matter what. And however your yoga looks, however it feels for you, whatever it does for you, is exactly perfect. It's always right. So to be able to share that with children is actually why I became a teacher. I teach adults as well, because I think adults need that reminder as well.
Definitely. I agree. And how long did it take when you first started practicing for you to start to get some of those deeper connections, the awareness dawning?
I think it took me practicing for maybe a couple of months and then falling away from it for a while to realize what it had done for me. And letting my life get in the way, and then realizing how not at peace I was on the inside anymore, and then taking the time to figure out what it was that was bringing me so much peace before, and coming back to it.
So the contrast.
Yeah, coming back to it, and I just didn't realize what it was doing for me until it was not there anymore.
It's funny, sometimes I tell people don't practice for a week, and then you just realize, because you get, like a new set of understanding of what normal is, and you realize, oh my gosh, until you step off from it, you don't fully realize you changed your normal.
You don't realize how also you're affecting your own environment, people around you, your friends, your family, coworkers, and when yoga does for you and on the inside, then you get to lead and you walk out into the world as a brand new person every single time, and you can share that. You don't realize you're doing it until you're not doing it, and people around you notice, and your environment starts on the outside, starts affecting you negatively because you were affecting that environment negatively. So.
Or conversely, if you're doing it positively.
Yeah, it works the other way around, so you just become a completely new person every time you leave your mat, and that's what I love about practicing.
I just feel like when I think about you, like when you first started practicing, you were a little more quiet and kind of kept in a little bit, and now you're like this ray of sunshine everywhere you go.
I was extremely insecure 3 years ago, actually even last year. I think yoga helped me be okay with who I am, and not just be okay with it, but love who I am, because I feel so good, and I'm able to share how, all these different gifts and tools we learn in yoga, and share them with other people, and see that change start to occur and manifest in every single individual in a different and unique way. And it's so beautiful that it takes a real deep understanding of yourself to actually appreciate another person's authenticity. And when you can learn that about somebody else and appreciate it, you actually learn to appreciate your own authenticity and start to love yourself.
It's beautiful.
I'm not so shy anymore, I guess.
Nice. And teaching kids, so for parents maybe that are watching this and want to get a sense of, what that whole experience is like. What is a kid's class like? How's it different from, other yoga classes?
Kids' life, and it's kind of what I said in the beginning, a child's life is so centered around competition and performance and judgment, and they begin to lose themselves at a really early age because they're needing to be a certain way for their parents, for their teachers, for their friends, so they can be accepted. And as adults, we don't do that on purpose necessarily to children, but it just happens, and they get lost, and they lose their individuality, and they lose their sense of creativity and improvisation. Children are so creative, and they lose that, and if they were just to harness it and use it on a more daily basis and be allowed to use it, like give them permission to be creative and be crazy and laugh and giggle and have fun, not take life so seriously like we do as adults. It's kind of what I teach them, and I give them an opportunity to have a safe place to talk in front of each other and talk about who they are in front of each other, and there's absolutely no judgment. And it's another thing that I do in the kids' classes is have them each talk about the good deeds they've done, and they kind of do it on a regular basis now, so they come to class with a new good deed that they did
So awesome.
every single week. And
I love
they're
it.
doing more and more things, and it just becomes a habit, and I kind of teach little things like that without making it like a chore or something weird. And children are way more accepting of ideas like meditation. It's not hard to teach it to them. They just let it in because they have no preconception or conditioning to think that that's weird like adults do. It's something they'll accept if you give them the tools and tell them why, give them real reasons. They're a lot smarter than we give them credit for, and they're sponges, and they soak it up and they use it, and they love to smile, and you just give them that space just to be themselves. And that's kind of what I do, and it makes me, I don't know, that's my dharma.
I totally feel it coming through you when you talk about it. And I know in addition to Kula, you're teaching kids everywhere, all these schools. And,
I want to put yoga in every school in the country because I think every child needs to be exposed to it. And that's probably the easiest way to get to every child because most of them are in school.
Yeah, hopefully, right. And then real quick, because we're almost out of time, but could you tell people a little bit about what the deck class is all about on Sundays?
Deck class, I've had a lot of new people that come to it, so I gear it toward whoever shows up, basically. But it's very alignment-based, and it starts off very slow, and it moves into more stronger poses, but never really a fast-paced class. So you use your muscles and engage everything throughout the class, and then at the very end, of course, you relax back into some more yin poses.
How is it being out there teaching on the deck? How do you like teaching outside?
I love being outdoors and in Mother Nature and having the wind blow against the skin, and the sun shine down on us, and being exposed to all the elements. It even rained on us last week, and we all stayed out there and enjoyed it.
I love it.
It was beautiful.
It seems like the adults are having some of the kids' yoga rub off on them.
Oh, they do. I kind of introduce a lot of the kids' stuff that I do in the kids' classes to the adults and makes them laugh. Adults forget to laugh and they take life too seriously.
Sweet. Just yoga. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.